Hey yo, it's your boy Ango, and in today's video we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Main roster call-ups for WWE. Eric Bischoff weighs in on the ROH TV deal. Very interesting stuff on that one. Also, Tony Khan reacts to Cody Rhodes, and it's all a little bit silly. Maybe Tony Khan is salty. I don't know. But we're going to talk about it all in today's video. As always, I'm going to keep you updated along the way, 7 days a week, everything that's happening in pro wrestling. I'm going to give you guys my reaction, my response, my analysis, and I ask that you join in on the conversation. So go ahead and drop a comment down below. We're going to kick things off with Ring of Honor, just mainly due to the fact that there's been a lot of talks about Ring of Honor and what it might be. Obviously, right now, as it stands, AEW has not done a good job of explaining what the future of ROH is. But at the same time, too, Ring of Honor obviously has a tape library that is very valuable. One thing that a lot of people are looking at, too, is the merger between Discovery and Warner Brothers, Warner Media, because that is going to be taking place any day now. And with that merger, it is expected that, some things might change from a leadership perspective. Now, how does that actually impact AEW? Well, we really don't know. Typically, when big mergers go through, people from the other company typically get axed, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that's being discussed and rumored within this merger. Now, obviously, Tony Khan has a lot of support from Warner Media, which was why, when we were kind of fantasy booking and speculating a little bit on this channel about a TV deal, it would sound reasonable for True TV to get Ring of Honor, especially because Ring of Honor is the least valuable brand that AEW has. Wrestling fans on the internet could say otherwise, but Ring of Honor has literally no sort of, mainstream appeal or attention. It's not even on the same level as AEW Rampage. The cool thing is ROH has history, and I think Tony Khan can obviously help the ROH brand elevate overall with the inclusion of AEW, which is why I have been so keen on Tony Khan doing developmental. Now, nonetheless, Eric Bischoff was on his ad-free shows, and there was a transcription that came from Wrestling Inc. that I absolutely loved. And basically, Eric Bischoff said that Tony is a very smart guy. He's got all the resources in the world. I'm sure he'll find a way. I don't know what it is. I don't know how long it'll take, but I hope he finds a way. Let's put it that way. But as of right now, I wouldn't want my job to depend on my ability to go out and try to sell Ring of Honor to another cable outlet. I am advocating for OTT, which is known as over-the-top media streaming service. This is like WWE Network, Peacock, HBO Max, all these different things. That's where I would put my resources. Trying to build Ring of Honor into another television rights opportunity, I think, is a mistake. Now, this is a very interesting take coming from Eric Bischoff, but it seems like, this idea that ROH really isn't a valuable brand makes a lot of sense, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Because again, how Tony Khan presents ROH could very well be a good thing. It could even contribute to the growth of AEW, which I think for Tony Khan, obviously the priority is growing AEW. So what I would do is try to figure out a way I can make that, help my brand grow. Now, with that being said, Eric Bischoff is advocating for a streaming app. Well, right now with Warner Bros. and Warner Media getting with Discovery, the new app, Discovery Media Bros. I don't know what they're even calling it at this point. Discovery Plus, more like it gets kind of confusing, but I can assume that maybe it would just be integrated into that app. I really can't see how Tony Khan can have his TV products with one TV network, or like one company, one media company, and then have ROH on a separate. It doesn't seem legit to me. I don't know. There's something weird about that. But True TV and ROH could be a really cool way to do it because True TV is, not the most popular channel. It's not also available on every channel, but it definitely would have a spot there. Either way, I look forward to seeing what happens with ROH. I really hope Tony Khan doesn't give up, whether it is streaming or on a TV network or whatever. I think it's important that he actually pushes it. For me personally, as a fan, I have most streaming applications anyway, so it's all very, very cool. But yeah, very, very interesting stuff there. Who knows what's going to happen with this TV deal and when it's going to happen. All right, guys, so Fightful Select dropped a report suggesting some very interesting information. There was this report about Raquel Gonzalez and LA Knight being pitched as call-ups. There's a couple different names that have been pitched as call-ups as well. Now, one of the things here is that, well, truth be told, I don't know what the hell to believe at this point, but I'm not necessarily mad either. For LA Knight, there has been a pitch for him to go into WWE as a manager. Now, my first reaction is WTF, because obviously I think Eli Drake, LA Knight, I think this guy could be a WrestleMania top act. I truly believe that. But then when you factor in age and just how stacked the roster is, this is why when I talk about a bloated roster in AEW, I talk about it in WWE. A bloated roster is the company's worst fucking nightmare. Now, with that being said, I mention that because with Eli Drake going in as a manager, maybe, just maybe that's where he gets his most shine. And maybe that's going to be the situation that puts him in the most prominent role in WWE TV. Now, LA Knight can't just go into WWE and manage anybody. He needs to be involved with the top act. And with Roman Reigns having Paul Heyman, the only scenario I think I would be interested in, and obviously we're fantasy booking here, but it would be LA Knight being paired with Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey definitely needs a mouthpiece. LA Knight can definitely talk. I think that would be the only scenario that right now I could think of that I would be open to. But LA Knight going into a manager position, to me, I have to see how it plays out for really to have a judgment on it. But I also like the idea of maybe him being a hybrid character. Him wrestling at times, but then also managing Ronda Rousey. It could be really cool. I don't know. There's just something really strange about this for him to be pitched as a manager. I don't think he'll fail. I think it might be his best opportunity to get a prominent role on TV. But something has to happen with this, and I'm so curious to see what happens here. But also, guys, I do want to change the topic. We got to talk about Tony Khan. He has a little bit of saltiness in him. I don't know why, but he was asked by Justin Barrasso of Sports Illustrated to promote last night's Dynamite, and basically one of the things that came up was he asked him about losing a like Cody Rhodes and stuff, and just. Obviously Cody Rhodes was at WrestleMania. Tony Khan responded saying, "I did lose a prominent free agent, but we're debuting one in Samoa Joe. In the past 30 days, we've also debuted Tony Storm, who was incredible last week in her win against the Bunny, who, by the way, doesn't really have anything going for her in television, and Jeff Hardy, one of the biggest stars in wrestling. We have a lot of excitement happening here, and that's our focus." I don't know. Maybe he's just trying to ignore the fact that Cody Rhodes is no longer there. I'm not necessarily sure what this whole thing is. I've said it before. Cody Rhodes was very, very instrumental in the growth of AEW. Tony Khan is moving on. That's up to him. I think AEW will continue to do good with or without Cody Rhodes. I think AEW will do good with or without certain wrestlers, because I think AEW in general has a very good product. But I do want to see them tighten up some loose ends and really fill the gaps that they have, because there's certain parts of the show that I just think don't make sense, and it's missing some logic. But other than that, Cody Rhodes was a good part of AEW. Now he's in WWE. For Tony Khan, obviously you have to move on. Cody Rhodes has been nothing more than respectful since he left AEW. He's kept his mouth shut on saying anything bad with Tony Khan, and basically Tony Khan just wants to move on and don't really want to talk about it. So that's cool. You can promote Samoa Joe and Jeff Hardy and Tony Storm. I still think the best part of your product is people like Wardlow, Jade Cargill, right? Sammy Guevara, the people that we don't see on other programs. But we'll see how it goes. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. It's your boy Ango, and I'll see you next time.